Let me know when you're ready to rock and roll this thing.
We're on.
You're on. My name is Naomi Shedd, and I have been one wheeling for 2 years and 9 months. I got my XR in August 21st, 2021. Got my GT in April 2022, and I got my GTS in January 13th. Is from Murph's Surf Shop here in Canton, Georgia.
Right.
And yeah, so that's a little bit about my one wheel story.
And you just placed at Dirt Surfers last weekend, right?
I did. I came in. I came in second in the stage race, which was a lot of fun. Got lost
Right.
after stage 6, which was very frustrating. But then I came in second. Did I say first? I said second, right? Yeah, second in stage and second in the indoor race. So again, got lost. I think I might be a course racer, not a stage racer with my sense of directions.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I'm always getting all turned around in the stage races.
Apparently, I guess one of the pros went through the red tape or something. I don't know.
I heard about
And I
that.
guess it felt better that I wasn't the only one to get lost. But yeah, my sense of direction really sucks sometimes. But yeah,
Hey,
it
well,
was
you're
fun
fast.
though. It was fun. I booked it to get in shape for my longer ride, the spring tune-up ride that I did 2 days afterwards. But I almost felt like it may have been too close. I had to do a lot of self-care to get ready for spring tune-up. I got a massage, I got 2 chiropractor adjustments, and I got IV therapy, but dang it, I was ready.
And
Yeah.
tell us more about that adventure. What did you do right after Dirt Surfers?
So after Dirt Surfers, I went straight to Rutledge, Georgia, and did an event called Spring Tune-Up Ride, which is the shirt I'm wearing right now, Spring Tune-Up Ride.
Ew.
And it's with an organization called BRAG, which stands for Bike Ride Across Georgia. And I used to bike with them for 8 years in a row. I did from 2000 to 2008. I biked right across Georgia with them. So in a way, it felt like, but I had to give up. I love cycling, but because I have arthritis in my right kneecap, I had to give up cycling. And I contacted Franklin, the organizer of Bragg, and asked him, hey, has anybody ever done Bragg on a one wheel? And he was just great. He was like, no, but we'd love to see it. So I registered, and it's a lot of the same structure as the festivals for one wheeling, in that everybody camps together. There are 1,100 riders signed up for, 1,100 bikers signed up for the spring tune-up ride, and in June there'll be 2,000 bikers signed up. So it's a huge thing. It's been going since 1980. So anyway, I pull into the campground, has a very familiar feel to it with all the tents set up. Felt like I was coming home for a reunion. I honestly thought my days with them were over because my knees just, I mean, they've suffered a lot over the years from what I've put them through with all the extreme sports, snowboarding and basketball and all these other things I've done to them. But who knew that Future Motion was going to come along and I'd be riding with them again all these years later. So I've biked over 20,000 miles with them, not just with them, but over the years. But because of the one wheel, I was back with them and it felt very good. So the first day,
Amazing.
I rode about 69 miles, 70 miles. Second day, I rode 60 miles. And then the third day, I rode 44 miles for 174 miles in 3 days. Well, no, I take that back. Okay. The day 3, there was a torrential downpour and the temperature dropped to 55 degrees. And I rode in the rain. I tried to push it to the 18-mile, to the first SAG stop, Support Across Georgia stop, and I came up short by about a mile.
Oh,
So I didn't do the whole 44 in the rain and 55 degrees on the third day, but I did do the 69-day. I had 4 board changes. I started out on my GT because that has the further distance, and then I switched to the GTS, and I learned that when I ride with my dog, I get 8 to 10 miles less distance.
oh.
So I dropped a 25-pound Ginger who's sitting right here with me.
Ginger. There she
So
is, the legend herself.
she's yeah, she pretty much drives in one wheel and she lets me tag along. So yeah, that was my spring tune-up experience. I had a great support team. I got to give a shout out to my sister from another Mr. Krista. Yes, thank you. She crushed the assignment. We've known each other for over 25 years, so we pretty much read each other's mind, and we definitely act like sisters sometimes out there. I always wanted to ride the board till it died, and she was like, no, you can't do that. I don't have time to charge it between SAG stops. And so the second day, we had it dialed in better. We had it really dialed in, and it was like a machine. She charged my board using the generator. She would give me the new board when we got to the next SAG stop. I'd give her the old board. She'd charge it. It was a fine-tuned machine. It was
Nice.
fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really rad. And that's just the precursor, right? That's just the warm up. You guys are doing
Yes.
an even bigger one next, right?
Yes. That's half of what I'll be doing in June 1st through the 8th is what they call Big Brag. And it starts in so Big Brag, it's called Atlanta to Savannah, from city to sea. And day 1, we're riding 55 miles from Atlanta to Oxford. Day 2, we'll be doing 47 miles. Day 3 is 63 miles. Day 5 is an 80-mile day. So that'll probably be at least 4 to 5 board changes. And then day 6 is 57 miles, and day 7 is 67 miles. So all in all, it's 400 plus miles. I've done it on a bike, but let me tell you, it's so much more enjoyable doing it on a one wheel. I mean, I felt a little guilty watching them suffer on the uphills.
And you're just cruising on by.
I've had more people message me about, hey, I've always wanted to learn how to ride that one wheel. But I tell you what, the way the GTS just carries me up those long, I mean, we climbed 3,000 feet, in a day. That's a lot of uphill. I mean, Georgia's not like Utah, but it has some hills, to get over. But I was like very pleased with how the GTS just like, what kind of voodoo is this? Just zooming up the hills, It was insane, but I love my home state of Georgia. I think it's beautiful. It's got a real, I don't know, southern charm to it, I think. And taking it in, standing sideways, it's my favorite. It's just, I mean, all the one wheelers know what I'm talking about. It's just a vibe. It is, and all
Absolutely.
the other cities I've done. Oh my gosh, all the sightseeing I've done.
That's one of the things that the one wheel is so great for. It helps you just explore, just cover ground, kill
It's
miles.
limitless.
do
I'm
things different.
finding, and the longer I'm into it, the more I'm realizing just it's like snowboarding year round, and that's my favorite. I don't know if snowboarding is my favorite thing anymore. I mean, it was my favorite thing to do, and just being able to snowboard anywhere now on the one wheel is just surreal. It's surreal. I love it, as you know.
Yeah, I can relate. I can
Yeah.
deeply relate.
Are you a snowboarder too?
Oh yeah, big time,
Okay, so you
big
know.
time.
Yeah,
My
it's
dad was
fun.
pushing me around on a snowboard before I knew what my name was, and then
Heck yeah.
I figured out what I was doing, and I was like, "Yep, this is fun."
Hey, all my kids learn. Yeah, all my kids snowboard too, and they all. Well, actually, my son was the one that bought my first one. My XR, TJ. I I first heard about the one wheel by listening to a podcast called Typology. I'm a podcast junkie, and they said, and I was listening to Typology, and they were calling different numbers on the Enneagram. I'm digressing a little bit, but asking them what they wanted for Christmas. And he called his son-in-law, and his son-in-law says, I want a one wheel. I had to, and his son-in-law was a 7 with an 8 wing. I Googled one wheel, and that was it. And then you get all the ads from y'all. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I started my own dog food making company business to pay for my first one wheel, XR. I make my dog food, and I did a delivery service, sort of like Freshies, but for dogs.
hmm
I was $500 away from reaching my goal of buying my XR when my middle son's assistant from work called me and said, "Hey, what kind of one wheel do you want?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, TJ said to call you and ask you if you wanted the pint or the XR because they have two, and I don't know which one to buy for you." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Well, I really want the XR because they say you can ride trails with it, and that's what I really want to do with it." She's like, "Okay." I start opening the package, and I said, "Oh, I must have got someone else's order because there was so much stuff in there." And I called, I said, "Hey, what exactly did you order?" And she says, "Oh, I bought you the pro package." And I'm like, "Bam, heck yeah." So I took that XR first time out, knew nothing, took it up to Red Top Mountain, took it on the trail, started riding, rest is history. I learned everything the hard way, did my first nosedive at 3%, going too fast. I knew nothing. I knew nothing. I just knew I wanted to ride that sucker. So
That's
that's my
amazing.
one wheel history story. And of course I mean as a mom, you know, TJ was like, "Yeah, just," I said, "What is this for? It's August. It's not birthday. It's not Mother's Day." He's like, "Just because you're a great mom." And it just like, you know. So I'm emotionally attached to that one wheel. I got my
Yep.
baby sitting right here. See, charging,
Yep. Always
ready to
ready. If
go. Yeah,
you're not riding, you're charging.
that's right. That's right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I feel like I see you all over the place at tons of
I
events,
miss
always out
nothing.
on your board.
I miss nothing.
No, you're a true one wheeler, true legend.
No,
I
I
love
don't know
your
about
stoke.
that,
Like,
but
there's never not a smile on your face. You've
oh,
always got the pup.
man.
I'm just so excited for your adventure, your journey. I'm
Thank
curious if people were interested in being a part of the Ride Across Georgia, can people sign up?
Absolutely. It's not till June. They're still taking registrations. I will say that there is a little more pre-planning you need to do. You need to have two one wheels. You can't do that distance and then wait to charge, wait to charge. You gotta. I mean, you don't want to be strolling in at midnight. You know. I
Right.
mean, I rode from 8 in the morning. I started at 8 in the morning for the 60-mile ride or 70-mile ride, and rolled in at 2 in the afternoon. So you're on your board for a solid 6 hours. So and that's switching out. That's
Right.
not waiting to charge.
You got to have an extra board. You got to have a
Gotta have
support
an extra,
vehicle.
yeah. And I also bought a hypercharger. I have two hyperchargers, and you got to have a generator. I mean, obviously, Bragg isn't set up for any kind of. Now, Bragg does provide support across Georgia. They have safety vehicles going on the route at all times. They have SAG support, which stands for support across Georgia. And I have Raquel, one of my drift sisters. That's another thing that feeds my passion, drift sisters. Uh, I am so passionate about close knit girlfriend relationships. I feel like that is so vital to the mental health of women and guys. But I think I love seeing the bros,
Yeah.
I mean, the bro connections in the One Wheel community. I love seeing that too. But I got a chance to ride with like Christy and some of the pro riders, Mercedes, just in the practice run at Dirt Surfers. Man, I gotta say, I was so impressed with how they all just helped each other. Hey, don't forget, like when you get to this corner, take the grass, there's more traction. I mean, having a close-up view to their camaraderie and the way they encourage and helped one another. I don't know. I think that's really rich and rare. So again, One Wheel feeds that passion of mine too, the Drift Sisters uh close bond. And I got to I mean, like Hannah, Heather, all the Drift Sisters that Lori, so many have just Tiffany and Taylor, I camped with them. I mean, I hate to name them because I'm going to miss people. Of course, Jess starting Drift Sisters. And that's just been such a huge, huge part of my joy
Mhm.
and journey with the One Wheel.
It's so good for the soul to have that community
Right
and
here.
bond, over the wheel. It's been life changing for me too. Like probably 90% of the people in my life that I cherish the most, that fill me up the most, are all through one wheeling, all one
That's so
wheelers,
cool.
all the
That's
family.
so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. I'm super excited for you. I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time.
I
Um,
appreciate you asking me to be on. Thank you. The fact that give my words weight enough to ask me to be a guest on the show it really is meaningful. I appreciate you too, man.
of course, you're an absolute legend.
Oh,
Where
thanks.
are you? So you're going to all of them. So you're going to be at Oak City?
I'll be racing at Oak City. I didn't get to race
Yeah.
last year because my mom was unfortunately, I wasn't sure if I was going to even be able to go. She's 86 and not sure if she was going to make it, but she made it through July. And so I made it to Oak City, but I didn't sign up for races because I really wasn't sure if I was going to even be able to go last year. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm excited to be able to be racing this year at Oak City. And then from Oak City, I'll be headed to Dirt Surfers in Arkansas. And then straight out of Dirt Surfers, I come back from Dirt Surfers, which I hope my legs will be in really good shape by then because that's torture in the best way.
Yep.
And then I'll come back at the end of May from Dirt Surfers and head right into Bragg, which is the 400-mile trek, June. And then July, I take off. And then in August, I head to England. And I actually might get to ride a one wheel in London,
Ooh.
in England. And so I'll be there for 16 days in England. Right. I signed up for a bike tour with Bragg because they do all kinds of tours, not just bike ride across Georgia. But if I can get my hands on a pint and ride in England, to sightsee London on a one wheel would be like dreamy. I've done 30
That's on my
cities.
bucket list for sure.
Yeah, well, I have a big hairy audacious goal list from 2005. The in my hit One of my big hairy audacious goal list is to do a bike tour in England. So when I saw it offered, I was like, yes. And then but I've done 30 cities on my one wheel. Like taking in Nashville on a one wheel with all the country music and the beer smell coming out in the streets. Like that was so surreal. And then I've done 10, and then Austin was my 30th city, and Texas was my 10th state that I did on a one wheel. So, wouldn't it be cool if London was my 31st and my first country to do on Onewheel. So yeah, who knows where it's going to take you? The Onewheel's limitless.
Yep.
So,
Amen.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to share with the lovely viewers? The word of wisdom.
Word of wisdom is adventure is out there. My favorite quote
Yep.
from my favorite movie Up. I love Carl. I love that
It's a great
movie.
movie.
But yeah, just I just want to say thank you. Honestly, thank you for the acceptance, the warmth, the encouragement from people like Hannah and Kyle and just Lori and Nick from Dirt Surfers. I just, my heart's just so full, honestly. I just have so much joy and gratitude to the Onewheel community, and you and Kyle for bringing Onewheel to the masses. Thank you. That's all I got to say.
That's awesome. Thank you. We all appreciate you. We love you. We can't wait to see you continue to freaking maximize life and be a total badass.
Hey man, that's what it's all about, right? Age is just a number. It's all up here.
Yep.
You got to keep learning, keep growing, keep stretching, and don't let anything define you. Just you make your own course, and you decide, trust your gut and go for it. That's all. Just go for it.
Full send.
Full send. Absolutely, baby. Booyah.
You. Thank you
Love
so
that.
much, Naomi.
You're
Hope you
welcome.
have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Cody.
evening. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. Sounds good. Peace out.
Peace. Peace and love.
That's right.